And scientists in Iceland are issuing a new warning amid a major volcano eruption. They say toxic gas spewing into the air could reach the capital and surrounding communities.
Big news just came from the land of fire and ice, where the Earth's heartbeat can be heard through mountains and lava fields. It was an ordinary day in this cold country. The sky was orange and pink, and the sun was just starting to go down. The people in the area didn't know it yet, but Mother Nature was about to launch a force that would send shockwaves through the Earth's heart. What, though, caused this huge rupture? It could mean that chaos is coming, or it could just be nature's way of telling us who's in charge. Come with us on this exciting adventure as we try to figure out how a volcano erupted in Iceland. Not just any mountain, the Vatnajokull is a volcano, and there's a dramatic show going on all around it. Erupting cones and lava fields make it look amazing. It's such a unique spot that it shares its name with the mountain, Vatnajokull. Scientists used to think that Vatnajokull was only there to help the Katla volcano system in the southwest of Iceland. Vatnajokull is now known as a volcano superstar by itself, at the very edge of the Eurasian and North American plates, where the plates are spreading and break to the left. Things are getting pretty rough. The old friend of Vatnajokull, the Katla volcanic system, has been pretty quiet in the holy scene since its last eruption 100 years ago. When it came to Vatnajokull, he slept for an amazing 6,142 years. Everyone was shocked when it finally woke up from its long, peaceful sleep in March 2021. There is a lot of trouble on the Reykjanes Peninsula, and the Vatnajokull story is just one part of it. Several volcanic systems are erupting, which is causing a lot of trouble. In 2020, there was even trouble with the Þórðarhofti volcano next to Seltun and the Blue Lagoon. The eruptions at Vatnajokull came as a complete surprise. The nearby systems were getting all the attention because they were more active. Anyone who knows Vatnajokull knows that it still has some fiery tricks up its sleeve. The 2021 explosion in Grímsvötn is a one-of-a-kind show because it's the first time we've seen something like this happen along this part of the plate boundary. It's different from most eruptions, where the main volcanoes are fed by a magma chamber below them, and the size and length of the explosion depend on the size and pressure of the chamber. Instead of a normal setting, it looks like this explosion could be caused by a thin, long tube that is linked to the edge of the Earth. The lava's path could be changed by the features of this explosion route. Another interesting thing about the channel is that it might connect to a deep lava pool close to where the Earth's crust and core meet. Some experts think that the volcanoes in this area could keep erupting for decades, making this eruption more like a long-term performance than a short one. Something amazing happened in Geldingadalir, a remote and quiet area south of Vatnajokull, on the night of March 19, 2021. This area hadn't had any volcanic activity in an amazing 800 years. There had been a deep sleep on Vatnajokull for 6,000 years. At 10:10 p.m., the Icelandic Meteorological Office told everyone what was going on. Those days. The ground split open in a crack about 600 to 700 meters long, spilling hot lava over an area less than a square kilometer in size. The people nearby were lucky that the place wasn't too busy, so no one was in immediate danger. This crazy show was called Geldingadalir, which sounds like a hot dance. Some experts thought that this eruption might last for a long time, like a volcano showing off for years. As word spread, many people from the town of Reykjavik came to see this natural event. It was beautiful to look at, but there was a catch. Some areas couldn't be reached because of an unseen wall of explosive gases, such as carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. When April 13th came around, the plan got bigger. Around the hot party in Geldingadalir, 4 new craters joined the group of lava flows. When the lava had a chance to cool down, it chose to turn up the heat again. People were thrilled by this hot show until the end of June. From June to the beginning of September, the volcano became hard to predict. At times, the lava flowed very quickly, and then it stopped moving for a while. A lava flow blocked the main road to the best viewing spot on Geldingadalir on June 4th, making it impossible to get there. It did the same thing in a different place in the morning of June 13th. Just when they thought it was over, on June 15th, a huge wall that was 5 meters high and 200 meters wide appeared. Its job was to keep the lava from going into Vatnajokull, which had important buildings to protect to the north and west. As of June 25th, a new player had joined the fight, a 3-5-meter-tall wall at Nagi's mouth. The goal was to play the waiting game and keep the lava from destroying the southern coastal road and the lovely homes on Iceland. But deep down, everyone knew that the lava had other plans. It wanted to meet the sea. If there was a bridge, the lava could run under the road without being seen. The idea was offered, but it was turned down. After 3 months, the rate of the lava flow stayed the same at 12 cubic meters per second. Over 3 square kilometers, the heat envelope grew by a nice 60,000 square meters every day. Like a hot snake, a river of molten lava was always moving. It was like a dance that was going on in the background sometimes and showing up on top of the ground other times. There were times when the blasts were very loud and times when they were very quiet. There were also some unexpected turns here and there. There were no signs that the lava had anything to do with what was going on in the hole. They kept up a steady pace until June 23rd, when they took a break on June 28th and hung out for hours. They were like detectives, following this hot journey from the sky with helicopters and satellites. They came back on June 29th, so the peace didn't last long. Being quiet for a while and then getting back to work became a routine. Between July 5 and July 9th, the lava flow took a 4-day break. On July 10th, it started out slowly but quickly picked up speed. Lava came out of the rock from both the top and the bottom. The water came down into the valleys like a hot waterfall. Following that, on July 14th, a part of the northeastern side of the volcano chose to dive. Once moving quickly at 10 meters per second, the lava slowed down to a cool 5 to 6 meters per second. It's because of the slow days in late June and mid-July. The volcano Volo had its own mood swings. It would be quiet for hours at a time and then lose its cool. People said that there might be some obstacles in the first 100 meters of the explosion path. The eruption on the Reykjavik Peninsula in July was different from all the others. It was an epic show of lava that happened. On July 27th, readings showed that the lava flow had not only sped up, but also hit levels that hadn't been seen since June and may have even topped them. For 8 to 10 days straight, the molten rock came out at an average rate of 177 to 18 cubic meters per second. This was the biggest flow ever measured, though the exact number is still unknown. The lava had been mostly going into the Meritor valleys for a couple of months. On August 21st, things changed. The hot rivers turned around and came back down the Nagi Valley. By this time, this volcanic show had become the second longest eruption in Iceland in the 21st century. September 2nd was the volcano's day off, so everyone could take a break. But on September 11th, just when they thought it was over, the lava came back. It broke through the surface in several places, as if it didn't want to be confined. Even though it looked like the main crater was stopped, lava still got out through a crack in the northwest wall and made a hot work of art outside the volcano. Over the last 32 days, the lava has been moving at an average speed of 8.5 cubic ms, creating a 4.6 kilometer wide lava field that held 143 million cubic m of lava. After a long series of eruptions, September 13th saw something strange and interesting happen. There was a pattern of pulses that looked a lot like the beat you hear in hot springs. It was like the volcano had a heartbeat and the explosions were planned by a force that couldn't be seen. On September 14th, the volcano was erupting 8 times an hour, which was like a heart beating. Lava wasn't just pouring out of the hole, It chose the scenic route and began pouring out in a big way from somewhere else around the volcano. As of September 16, 2021, 181 days after the 15th of September, the volcano had its 181st eruption party, making it the longest eruption in Iceland in the 21st century. The lava didn't slow down. From September 11th to September 7th, it ran at a speed of 16 cubic ms, making a 4.8 square kilometer lava field. In order to recharge, the volcano took a break on September 18th. Not only did the action drop like a rock, it also slowed down, which made the whole thing a little strange. Then, on October 18th, the alert level changed from orange to yellow because there had been no lava parties since September 18th. The Icelandic Meteorological Office even calls to say that the chrysophic volcano is now just taking it easy. But keep an eye out for July 30th, 2022. There were a lot of quakes in the area around a lava field in Geldingadalir. The International Maritime Organization says that there were almost 3,000 earthquakes on July 31st. There was shaking in the ground in southwest Iceland, all the way up to Borgarnes, and including Grindavik, which is the capital area. It was pretty strong. The biggest one was a 4.0 on the Richter scale 3 minutes after 2 p.m., and another one that reads 5.4 from 12 minutes to 6 p.m. The Norwegian Meteorological Agency said that models of ground movement showed that magma was present about 1 kilometer below the surface at 11 minutes to 6 p.m. on August 2nd, as the IMO says. After a few weeks of bad business on the Reykjavik Peninsula, it's now August 3rd. Between July 30 and August 3rd, more than 10,000 earthquakes were reported, with 2 of them being over 5.0 magnitude. Then, all of a sudden, Vatnajokull went off again. Live video from the spot showed lava coming out of a small crack in the ground. The Icelandic Meteorological Office said on August 4th that the crack was a huge 360 meters long. Over 1,130 people came just on the first day to see the show, showing how excited people were. The weather office wasn't too happy about it. They told people to stay away from Vatnajokull because of the new explosion. At the start of the eruption, a hot river was moving down the hill at 32 cubic meters per second toward the northwest. From 17 on August 3 to 11 on August 4, the flow increased to an average of 18 cubic ms. A huge 1/600,000 cubic m of lava had already changed a 0.14 square kilometer area. It was good news from Iceland's Department of Civil Protection and Emergency Management, which said that no one or anything was in immediate danger. Keflavik Airport, which is the main airport in Iceland, was briefly on high alert, as is normal during earthquakes. The flights, on the other hand, did not cancel. The area above the earthquake was closed off to planes, but brave helicopters went in to get a better look. Even though there wasn't a big watcher, the eruption still put the air quality in nearby places at risk. A geology expert, Professor Magnus Tumi Goodman, thought that this volcanic show might be 5 to 10 times bigger than the 21 eruption, but he told everyone that it wasn't the big one. From the way the land was laid out, it looked like the lava would end up in the Mader valleys. According to the most recent news on RUV, the crack in the ground that is on fire has shrunk a bit. The most active part of the crack is in the middle. They could still see strong puffs of gas and steam on August 5th, around the same time. The number of daily shocks had dropped. When we went back in time to August 10th, the lava was mostly coming out of a center cone and going southeast and northwest. It was mostly filling up the eastern part of the Geldingadalir lava, according to the Icelandic Meteorological Office. This lava show went on until at least August 16th. Around August 7, 2022, the hot river slowed down its crazy dance. On August 21, 2022, it finally picked a time to stop. About 12 million cubic meters of lava took the stage for its big show. When the lava stage was close to the volcano, it was 20 to 40 meters thick. But in the Mader Valley, where it moved away from the light, The lava got thinner and thinner until it was only 5 to 15 meters thick. The volcano seems to have taken a bow and gone backstage since that hot show, leaving the crowd with no obvious signs of the violence that came before. At some point after July 4, 2023, more than 12,000 earthquakes hit the area, making the ground shake and jump. Then, after a pretty big 5.2 magnitude earthquake on July 10, 2023, there was a crack near Little Her, northeast of where things had exploded before. Things were a lot worse this time. We saw about 10 times as much lava in the first burst as in the first explosion. There were 200-meter-long cracks in the ground that went for more than a kilometer between Fagradalal and Kier. This is a lot longer than what happened in Miradare. The lava was gushing out at a very fast rate on the first day, about 50 cubic ms. After that, it slowed down a bit, averaging around 13 cubic ms, which is about the same speed as the first eruption's peak flow. At the start of the explosion, there were several cracks. Eventually, they all came together to make one long crack, which turned into this huge cone that grew by about 3 meters every day. Moving south, the lava was going to meet up with the older lava from Geldingadalir. But on July 19th, the wall of the volcano broke down, and the lava began to run in different directions. It finally got itself together and kept going southward. The crater's edge got bigger, which made everyone worry that it might fall apart. It did fall down on July 24th, which was a surprise. The lava flow slowed down over time. By July 23rd, it was only moving at 8 cubic ms. It went east for about 1.2 kilometers and was mostly straight. A huge 24,000 cubic m of lava, which is more than the second episode. The fire show at Fagradalal stopped on August 5th. The hot dance below the surface made me think there was a link to the earlier explosions, like a family gathering for a volcano. The ability and strength of the eruption had weakened. Between July 23 and 30, the lava rate slowed from a fast 9 cubic ms to a more relaxed 5 cubic ms, about 1.5 square kilom or 15,900,000 cubic meters of lava had been painted by the lava. But by early August, the flow of lava had slowed down to 3 to 4 cubic ms, which meant that the volcano's big show was almost over. Now that there was less molten action in the hole, a smaller cone formed inside. The volcano stage lights went out on August 5th. Moths are drawn to flames, and so were tourists. Since the volcanic story began in 2021, a staggering 700,000 people have visited the spot. After its final bow, the Fagradalur earthquake left behind a burned but memorable memory for those who saw nature's fiery show. When November 11th comes around, it's not just any old day in Iceland. There is a state of emergency because since late October, the ground has been shaking with thousands of earthquakes shaking things up. The Icelandic Meteorological Office, which is in charge of the country's weather, sounds the alarm because there is a huge magma party going on below the surface, and they're afraid it might just crash through the volcano. This isn't just any magma party. It's like the front row of explosions, and it's much bigger than anything Fagradalur has seen before. People in Grindavik are getting their basics ready to leave because no one wants to be stuck in the middle of a volcanic battle. The Israel and the stage is set for the big show that nature puts on. Glad you watched another Vision Discovery show. Click on the video on your screen to see more good material while you're still here.